So what if I told you that this song is actually complex as hell? Well, you might argue, I don't care. I am already too drunk all the time they play this song. Yes, that's exactly my point. The closer you listen to it, the more it feels kind of drunk. It fits. Major Tom, völlig losgelöst, is a 1982 song by German singer and songwriter Peter Schilling that went wild in 1983 and still does, because to this day every DJ is guaranteed to make any crowd go crazy when this song is played. The title references the fictional character David Bowie became famous with.
Ground control to Major Tom.
Originally inspired by the legendary 2001 A Space Odyssey movie by Stanley Kubrick, also Peter Schilling's Major Tom is about an astronaut that gets lost in space. There is an English version of this song that most of you might be more familiar with.
4, 3, 2, 1.
But since I grew up with the original German version, I will stick to that one for the course of this video. Back then, the so-called New Wave movement was a hot thing all over the music world. Especially in Germany, Neue Deutsche Welle tried to establish a music style that acted as an alternative to what everybody associated with German popular music at that time. And luckily, Neue Deutsche Welle was quite successful. Otherwise, that Schlager kind of music would still be a hot thing in German music industry right now. Originally coming from the punk scene, many musicians vastly made use of new electronic technology. Their texts oftentimes being political, but as many times also minimalist or ironically dumb. One of the most successful persons of this era was Nena, with her 99 red balloons, of course. But oh my, Major Tom doesn't need to duck away from this. The text is about the astronaut Major Tom that, when taking off to space, is the one cool guy joking around while everybody goes crazy about what can go wrong. Then, when everything actually is going wrong and the ground station is about to lose contact to the astronaut, he simply sends his best regards to his wife before everything gets cold. Quite sadly, this is about death on a metaphorical level. Don't start to feel uncomfortable, however, because the author is quite relaxed about everybody just having a good time.
Dabei ist ja Major Tom doch eigentlich ein Lied streng genommen über den Tod. Und daraus wurde ein Partysong.
Das Publikum hat das Recht, aus einem Lied das zu machen, was es für richtig hält. Das Publikum ist der Chef, das Publikum sagt, wo es lang geht. Und da haben wir uns Kreative einfach danach zu richten. Das ist so. Und wenn das die Leute dazu feiern, kann ich das verstehen. De facto ist es aber ein Lied über den Tod, das ist richtig.
Now, what is so special about this song that I claim that it is the most complex 80s song? And spoiler alert, it isn't. It is not the most complex 80s song, at the very least on a harmonic level, because the chords are quite straightforward. And also, the structure is really as bass as can be. But looking closer on the rhythmic level reveals some surprising stuff, which makes me wonder why nobody gets completely lost when dancing to this song. The introduction is quite straightforward. And this is really a good thing, because right when the first verse is about to start, you can notice that in the drums, the bass, snare and hi-hat only go down on beats 2 and 4. Which in a 4/4 meter, like the one we're in, usually is the weak beats. It's like the drummer at one point decides to squeeze in an extra beat and then continuing in an ordinary 4/4 meter. The lead voice, however, acts like nothing has happened. The phrasing of the melody and the stressing of the words perfectly fit into the original 4/4 meter. So if I am mean and play the song just from the point when the drums do their shifted meter, it will actually sound quite disturbing. Like the lead voice and the drums completely playing past one another. But it even gets worse when after the first verse, the bass joins. The bass really reinforces the drums with its distribution of accentuated low notes and pickups. So if you were brave enough to follow the main melody through until here in order to stick to the 4/4 meter from the intro, you will get into very big problems here at the latest. It's that kind of feeling drunk I described before. It's really fascinating how Peter Schilling nevertheless managed to spell the words like he just doesn't care that the drums and the bass have shifted their downbeats completely to the opposite. This conflict is sovereignly kept up just until the beginning of the iconic chorus, which is the point where finally the singer and the instruments for the first time of the entire song all agree on a common meter. This really gives a sense of resolution in comparison to the disturbing conflicts during every verse line. And how fitting that it's right at the point when the text speaks of taking off. This is for sure one of the reasons why people go so wild when this part of the song is started. It is the stable rhythm in the chorus, combined with one of the best and most easily memorable melodies ever written. So it's quite safe to say that people subconsciously perceive that there is something awkward going on in the verses. But they don't care, because as soon as the chorus comes in, the fact that everything now glues together is such a pleasant feeling. Peter Schilling's Major Tom is by no means unique, with the main voice going at odds with the accompanying instruments. It is, however, easily the most successful example I could think of. And it is even more so because the fact that in the verses everything is going at odds is just subtle enough that nobody really cares and enjoys the song anyway. Songs with shifted meter in general haven't been spotted too well on a theoretical level so far. If you want to have further examples, check out David Bruce's excellent video on rhythmic illusions. I also did a very little compilation along my analysis of Nick Kershaw's Know-How, which you can find in my 1-hour analysis video of Nick Kershaw's 80s music. If you have any further suggestions for songs with that shifted meter kind of stuff, don't hesitate to put them into the comment section below. As for today, thank you very much for listening and see you next time.